welcome you to XCW Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, update on the condition of Mick Foley. He has suffered yet another concussion at the hands of Tommy Dreamer and Dean Ambrose. And I understand we're about to be joined by one half of that tandem right now. Dean Ambrose, as he makes his way to the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, we thought he was gone from XCW. We didn't expect to see Dean Ambrose back here, and yet he made an appearance. We expect now to find out exactly what he was thinking when he took a steel chair and slammed it over the head of Mick Foley.
This hasn't been a very good year for you, has it, Mick? I mean, first you get yourself into a pretty serious car accident. Cost you a few months in the hospital. Cost you some memory loss. Then you get back out, get in another battle, and you lose that one, only this time it's in court. You've had a very interesting career, Mick. I mean, I remember looking back at tapes of you at WCW. I remember Clash of the Champions. You took a drop kick off the apron and landed smack on the middle of your back on a cement floor, no pads. What did they refer to you as back then, Mick, in the WCW? You were called the glorified stuntman, right? Then you went there and you started wrestling in some bingo hall in South Philadelphia, where you became known as a hardcore icon. Wrapped the ring in barbed wire and took on guys like Sabu and Sandman and Terry Funk. And then from there, then you finally made it, didn't you, Mick? You made it to the big time. You made it to the WWE. You made it to the spotlight, the big paydays. And then you showed this video on the WWF television program. You showed this video with 14-year-old Mick Foley jumping off of a roof. That video, that influenced a lot of young people, Mick. A lot of kids my age at that time were 14, Mick, and we watched that video. We thought that was our ticket. We thought that was the way into the big time, into the WWF, into the WWE. A lot of 14-year-old kids started jumping off of 15-foot-high roofs, Mick. A lot of kids started getting hurt. I was one of the fortunate ones, Mick. I got out before it was too late. I realized that wasn't the way in. See, we started trading headlocks and hip locks for high death-defying moves that left a lot of guys permanently injured, Mick. There were a lot of 15-year-old kids on medication that they had to take the rest of their lives through the pain that they woke up with every single day. And you walked away scot-free. You were not held accountable by anybody, yet you are guilty of criminal activities, Mick. What you did, you put adolescents at risk. You were responsible single-handedly for the delinquency to minors. But nobody ever put you on trial for it, Mick. But your day has come, your day in court. Because I am here and I am holding you accountable for the atrocities that you have committed against a generation. A lost generation of talent, Mick, that could have been in this industry right now, that could be creating moments in this industry right now that will never have that opportunity because of you. Now I know, Mick, at Hardcore Uproar, it's going to be you and Tommy Dreamer. But part of the glory, because yes, right now I consider my home base to be Florida Championship Wrestling, but I'm still considered an indie wrestling star. And as such, I can sign to wrestle anywhere I want, anytime I want. And whatever's left, whatever little piece of your ass Tommy Dreamer leaves at Hardcore Uproar belongs to me. And be sure of one thing, Mick Foley. As far as I'm concerned, you're on a 2-strike system so far. You had strike 1 with your car accident. Strike 2 was when you lost in court. When you get done with me, Mick Foley, that's going to be career-ending strike 3. And I want you to save this interview, Mick, this promo, this shoot. I want you to save it. Save it to your iPod. Save it to your DVR. And keep it somewhere where you can keep hitting play. Because when we're done, Mick, and it won't be a long, drawn-out feud, because quite frankly, you won't be able to hold up with more than one match with me. But when it's all said and done, I want you to be able to hit play on a DVR. I want you to be able to hit play on an iPod. Because when you can't remember the names of your own children, I want you to remember the reason why. I want you to remember one name. And I want that name to be Dean Ambrose.
Well, I understand what Dean Ambrose is saying, and I even share his sentiments in some ways. The fact of the matter is, Mick, you don't have to worry about what he just said. You don't have to worry about his threats, because I can assure you, after Hardcore Uproar, there will be no way you'll be able to get in the ring again, and there will be no way Dean Ambrose will be able to retire you. That's on my shoulders. That's my job, and I'm going to do it. You want to know why I was involved in the payoffs? For years, I had to take a backseat to you. When we were at ECW, it was always Mick Foley and Sabu. It was always Mick Foley and the Sandman, Mick Foley and Terry Funk. You were always the guy. They were the ones that hung the title on you, that you were the hardcore icon. I was the one that was out there busting my ass night in and night out. They called me anything in the world they wanted to, and I kept coming back until finally one day they agreed that I was hardcore. And while you were busy in the WWE being a superstar, I was still being extreme. And yet you get called the hardcore icon? It makes me sick. At Hardcore Uproar, Mick, be ready for the end. It will be your final match. And whether you have legal ownership of half of XCW or not, the condition you're going to be in, it really won't matter.
I gotta tell you, I'm happy my name isn't Mick Foley right now. It doesn't seem like he's got a foot left in the building. Tommy Dreamer turning on his longtime partner. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we've got the XCW Tag Team Champions of the World, the Skull Crushers, coming into the ring to defend the titles against the Dudley Boys. This is going to be a classic example of old school meets new school. The Dudleys, one of the most decorated tag teams in the history of this industry. The question now is, can they claim the XCW tag team titles? They have been chasing them for months.
Now look who's coming, yeah, look who's back. Quick dropping the bombshell straight to the track. The 21st century killing machine. But on the inside, a five-headed team. Now I'm not the same, because you're not the same. You're not the same, because I'm not the same. If we're not the same, this could...
And here we go. The tag team titles are on the line. The Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Diva, going up against Skull and Venom, the Skull Crushers. We should point out that one single pinfall will not do it. Both members of either team have to be eliminated before there's a winner. These two teams are absolutely be it. Will Devon be eliminated? And once again, the action spills out to the concrete floor. And now Skull has the ring steps. He's using the steel ring steps on Devon. The referee has got his hands full in this matchup, just trying to retain order. And here's a pinfall. This could be it, but that's it. Devon has been eliminated, and now it's 2 against 1. Bubba Ray has got to face both members of the Skull Crushers. I don't like the odds of Bubba Ray Dudley at this moment, as both Skull Crushers have him. He's on the table. From the top rope, oh my God! Right through the table. And this has got to be it. And that's 3. The Skull Crushers are still the XCW Tag Team Champions. Ladies and gentlemen, next week, Mick Foley is back in charge. It's his week to run XCW. The question is, will he be physically able to appear? And even if he does, he's got to be watching his